Hey, what's up, guys? It is December 17th, 11:36 p.m. Central Time. We're here for another recording of the Lyceum podcast, episode 15. We are well into this thing. 2020 is almost over, and we got a mixed bag to talk about tonight. A lot of things across the board. It's been a lot of political stuff, and we're not a political podcast, but it's just getting served up time after time this year. So we're going to be talking about more stuff that has to do with politics, even though a lot of it I don't think should be tied to politics. It still is. Everything is politicized these days. So we're going to be talking about the vaccine and HIV and how those things are related. We're going to be talking about the election because it's still getting talked about. We're going to be talking about a letter from the ATF, so just a few other things tonight. So thanks for listening, guys. The comments are starting to go off. I wanted to get in there today to start responding to some people, and I started to type out some responses earlier, but I didn't get a chance to hit respond to everybody. So I'm going to try to do that before this one posts on Friday. But thank you guys for the comments, for the dialogue. It's good. We love it. And we will be jumping in there to say what's up. All right. So I guess we'll start with, I just kind of want to start with 2020 winding down. I mean, it's not going to be getting any better in 2021.
No, it'll get worse.
I don't see a whole lot of change happening.
Something did pop. Zach was right. Something did happen at the end here. Age 75, the actor who played Boba-Fett died. That hit me hard, man.
Stop, bro.
Dude, are you serious? I'm a Star Wars. Oh, yeah, you guys aren't Star Wars nerds like me.
How old was he?
75.
Oh, he was 75?
Yeah.
Did anybody even know who the man behind the mask was? Like,
and you're not supposed to. Nope.
Hey, someone else died too. That was. Oh, didn't Darth Vader die?
Don't.
He just died this year.
Got me.
Yeah.
Anakin Skywalker?
No, Darth Vader.
Yes, that is.
I know that, but he didn't.
No, but
Anakin
he means
in the first Star Wars. He played just Darth Vader. We didn't even know about Anakin yet.
Yeah, let me look that up, actually.
Damn, I'm pretty sure he died this year.
That's horrible.
Dang, it was just someone else, too, like 2 days ago. It wasn't Boba-Fett, it was someone else.
I think it's because they were, when you're people of, that affluent, super rich life, you get access to the first vaccines, and they probably got that whole HIV thing going on.
Hey, tell us about the vaccine and HIV, Pedro.
I mean, it's like what I said just now. If you
Wait, hold on. What vaccine are we talking about?
The COVID-19 vaccine.
Okay.
What other vaccine is there?
So a lot.
Yeah,
There's a lot of vaccines.
There's a lot. That is true.
Who makes those vaccine, guys?
My friend Bill makes a couple of them. I know that.
Big
Bill.
Pharma. Big Pharma. Your best friend, right? Everybody's best friend.
Dang it. All right, hold on.
Were you flexing on us, bro?
No. Did it look like it? All right, so we were saying, Pedro was talking about a specific vaccine, which was the COVID-19 vaccine. But so is that available to everyone right now?
No.
No.
That's why you said only. That's why you said only.
Only rich people are getting it right now. I think. Yeah.
So
they're already getting it.
Yes.
That was fast.
Well, yeah. There is. Hold on. Only one vaccine is available, and it's being rolled out initially to frontline workers like nurses, doctors in the hospitals, and elderly in full-time care facilities, I believe, and then other like high priority people. They're not saying celebrities, but I don't know, maybe they're on the high priority list.
Yeah, we should see who's getting access to this. I mean, because they're
Well,
when I say there, I don't know who there is exactly. I would imagine whoever's involved in the hospitals and whatever, medical. I don't know who would make that a um, mandatory. Who does that? Is it just
who
a
makes
law?
the vaccine mandatory?
Yeah,
I think individual businesses on their own are going to have to make it mandatory. I don't ever see like a state, city, or federal law
I
coming
could
down
see
that
a
says
state.
you need this.
I could see California being like,
Really?
"Hey, when you renew your driver's license, you better make sure you got that vaccine." I could see California
right.
doing it.
Okay. Because I know with
Goodness.
schools already, like kids got to be, they
Vaccinated.
got to have like so many different shots and stuff, before they can, if they're even able to go. So who's doing that? Is that the state or is that the school?
Let me look it up.
So wait, what's your question?
Really?
Sorry.
Who's making them mandatory?
Well, right now it's not mandatory. Right now it is. Well, first of all, right now it's
No,
not.
I know, but who can make it mandatory?
I think
Who says
government-
all you guys have to do this?
government agencies. So, all right, one thing we talked about before the podcast started is the divergence between the federal government and state governments, right? State governments, we have seen more clearly than ever, they get to make their own laws. So I think it would be a mandate at the state level, but then you have to remember that we're a United States. All of our states are under the federal government. So when you think about things like travel, interstate travel might be regulated by certain agents. Like I don't know. I'm not sure who would regulate it interstate, but there would probably be some interstate regulation, and to travel to certain states, you might need to be vaccinated. Like if California did make it mandatory, if you wanted to take a flight into California, you might be required to have the vaccine. Things like that. So I think it would be on the state level where they would make that mandatory. But then you've got even within states, like maybe not a whole state makes it mandatory, but schools make it mandatory for your kid to go. They have to be vaccinated to go to school. Right. Public school, right? Like California already has laws where kids have to be vaccinated in order to attend public school. No ifs, ands, or buts. They've essentially eliminated all medical exemptions, and it's extremely hard to get a medical exemption in California. So back there in California, for sure, I think they're going to add this to the schedule of vaccines that a kid needs in order to attend public school.
And then is it a rule that you have to attend public school in certain states? I
don't think that's a rule in any state.
They don't allow you?
I think every state has homeschool regulations that you could get a formal education through homeschooling. Because even California, you can homeschool. And if California still allows you to homeschool, I would imagine every state allows you to homeschool.
Okay, that's good. You're probably just going to see attendance at public school go down. Honestly.
But going back to it though, like the vaccine is not even if you want to get the vaccine right now, you can't. Like the quantities that are available are super limited. So they're being strategic about who can get the vaccine first. So it's not going to be available to a large portion of the population for months. I mean, the Pfizer vaccine, dude, that thing has to ship in like negative 94 degree Fahrenheit conditions or else it'll spoil. Check me on the negative 94. I believe that's accurate. I'm trying to remember the number off the top of my head. It's something super, super cold. So they're equipping their shipments with dry ice. Like it's this whole freaking distribution challenge that they're facing. But so that's the Pfizer vaccine, but the Moderna vaccine, I believe, is when it starts shipping, it has to be somewhere right around 0 degrees or freezing. It's one of the two. But yeah, so these vaccines aren't super widely available. They're hard to get, and it won't be available for the wider population for some time.
Okay.
But the first doses were administered. I actually watched a video earlier today where this nerd, oh man, I shouldn't be laughing, but they were televising like these vaccines, these people getting their shots. and one of the nurses had gotten her shot. And then she goes up to where they got the podium for like a press conference and she's talking. And you could tell, you're like, man, this girl seems like she's having a hard time putting her thoughts together. Something's going on. And all of a sudden she just falls out, dude, and she passes out. And I was like, and you're like, this girl just got the vaccine. She's going to pass out. Like, I mean, I don't know what the long-term implications are for that, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to pass out right after you get a vaccine. And who knows, it could have been an unrelated pass out, but it's just really funny. It's funny, it's not funny, whatever. I laughed when I saw it. I was like, dang. All right, well,
No, it's hilarious.
Go ahead and rush to get your vaccine, people.
Man.
All right, so we never hit on the ties, though, of the vaccine and HIV. What's the link, Pedro?
What's the link? Oh,
yeah.
Like I'll put the link in the description this time, but pretty much someone was reported after having the vaccine, a number of people actually, they for some reason didn't had a positive HIV test, but then the doctor comes in the room and says, "Oh no, you don't have HIV. It'll go away in like a week or two." And then third week pops up and they're still testing positive for HIV, and it's like,
so I personally did not hear this until right before the recording.
Well, I was digging. I've actually been paying attention. So, well, not to say you haven't been paying attention, but in my digging, of course, this has been like pushed away. But yeah, that's been happening. There's people been going into anaphylactic shock. And I think that's about it, you know. So not too severe. You get a little HIV, you pass out, and then maybe it goes away after a while, but you'll be fine.
So I had to look it up because like I said, I wasn't familiar with the story, but I did find a quick headline. BioWorld, I'm not familiar with this source, so you guys tell us if this is a good source or not. But CSL, University of Queensland, quit COVID-19 vaccine trials due to HIV antibody response. This is from Perth, Australia. The University of Queensland and CSL Limited are abandoning their trials of an Australian COVID-19 vaccine after recipients generated HIV antibodies during phase 1 trials. The response means the antibodies produced by the vaccine can interfere with HIV diagnostic tests. However, there was no possibility the vaccine caused infection, and routine follow-up tests confirmed no HIV virus was present, the partner said.
The partner said is the key word.
Yes.
So
all I know,
I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I think, you know, medicine has gone a long way. So everybody who wants the vaccine, you can sprint after it, go for it. I think I myself am gonna wait till a couple 10 or 100,000 others go for it, and I'm just gonna see how that herd pops out, like how you guys react. And if some of you start passing out and other of you start developing strange symptoms, I'm probably gonna lead away.
Dude, there's a article that says I think it was in 1967, the quickest vaccine ever developed was for mumps. It took 4 years and was licensed in 1967. COVID-19 vaccine was developed and cleared for emergency use in 8 months. I know that was in 1967, and like Pedro said, medicine's come a long way, so that probably has a lot to do with it, but still. That's fast.
Yeah, no. Like technology advancements, the advancement of medicine, all that I think does factor in. But how can you legitimately determine the safety of a vaccine in only 8 months, and when trials occurred for about 6 weeks? We don't nobody's even had this vaccine for longer than a couple of months, the people in the trials. So it's like, how can we know? And I mean, the whole HIV antibody thing, like, dude, if that's the initial response, what happens in 5 months? I don't know. But it's crazy because the mainstream media has really glossed over any adverse effects of the vaccine. Like, obviously, people in the trials, you know, there were adverse effects. I was reading this one article on CNBC when they were talking about how the vaccine was super effective and safe, but yet the way they wrote the article, they put the facts in there. but they acted like it was all good, even though they were like, oh yeah, there were only 5 people that had severe adverse reactions and wound up in the hospital, even though the study it was like a small study. And I was like, and I did the calculation, I was like, wait, that was like 7% of the people in the study that wound up with severe reactions. And you're going to say this is good?
And what's the percentage of COVID-19 deaths?
Less than 0.01 at this rate.
I mean, honestly, I think it's hard to say exactly, but
No,
it's
it's
not.
under
what the deaths?
He's asking
Yeah.
Andrew what percentage of people, when they contract coronavirus, die.
Sorry.
It is under 0.01.
And then you got roughly 7% of people having.
Well, that was with one particular study and one particular vaccine. There's like hundreds of vaccines being developed. I mean, Big Pharma is about to cash in, so of course everybody's going to be trying to develop a vaccine.
Hey,
I'm chilling on that.
Listen to this. It says, is anyone liable? Remember, vaccine manufacturers aren't the ones approving their product for mass distribution. That's the job of the FDA. And then it says, which begs the question, can you sue the U.S. government if you have an extraordinarily bad reaction to a vaccine? The answer is no. You can't sue the FDA for approving or disapproving a drug.
Yeah.
A professor at University of California Hastings College of Law, that's part of its sovereign immunity.
Yeah. This is where they're slick. This is where I don't think it will be coming down federally or even state, Andrew. Because if they did mandate and make the force, then they're like liable. But if they put pressure on individual businesses or organizations saying, hey, you can't operate as normal without having these people get vaccines. So they'll force the businesses, hey, in order to operate, you got to do this thing. And then the business will say, okay, very well, then workers or anybody coming into my establishment, you have to get the vaccine in order to get it.
Dude, imagine putting stuff out and killing people or hurting people or changing their whole life because of whatever it is. Alzheimer's, any kind of life-changing disease that can hurt you. I know Alzheimer's can take a long time, but I'm talking about what's the one that a lot of kids are getting right now. There's like a huge
autism.
Autism, yeah. Autism is supposedly a side effect of a lot of the vaccines that have come out. I don't know if it's true or not. That people go back and forth all the time. But imagine putting that stuff out there and you are allowing that stuff to happen to people, and your only problem you have to worry about is not making as much money as you wanted, because you cannot get in trouble and basically nothing will happen to you.
That's why I hate Big Pharma. Like, I cannot tell you how much I hate Big Pharma. It's disgusting.
It is.
And I don't know. Horrible. You know, the evil thought that unfortunately I've heard some people say is, you know, they wanted this, they voted this in, they should be the first ones in line to go get the vaccine. Whereas my thought is, no, that's not how this works. That's pretty bad to say wish death upon your enemy pretty much like that. I would tell everybody, dude, chill out on this. It's not that real. Zac here has had it. He survived. I think you're going to survive.
Millions of people have had it.
You're chilling, dude.
But hey, I'm going to disagree with you on that, though.
Yeah,
I'm on the boat where it's like, if you put it out, if you're on board to put it out, then get in line.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm with that.
No, dude. No, yeah. That's evil, bro. Well,
that's not evil. I mean, they want it.
They wouldn't put it out. They wouldn't put it out, dude.
Well, okay, it's not evil. It's not evil to say that, but it's like, dude, you know it's going to hurt them.
I know people that want the vaccine that would hate you for saying that. They're like, hey, shut up. Give me my vaccine.
Okay, if they walk in like that, then if they go to the clinic with that attitude, then that's on them. I'm talking about probably the normie out there who's just like confused, scared, doesn't know what's going on. I don't want him to just go in line. I don't.
No,
I just
I'm talking about the people who are actually putting it out, not people who support it. I'm talking about people who are in charge of the market, in charge of the business, in charge of the distribution, who are saying, we're putting this out. It's like, okay, if you put it out, if your hands are on this, you need to get a shot. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Not just the people out here who are scared who support it, because people are scared. They want protection. That's like it's like the government, the politicians who are saying, we cannot have guns, and what is it? Disband the police or defund the police, and then something goes down, and the first people they call are the police.
Yes, hello, police. Can I get some help, please?
Yeah. You know? And they got and it sucks because they got more police than we'll ever get. You know, if we call 911, we're lucky to get someone out in 15 minutes. Dude, they're hitting 911. They're hitting their homies at the station, and they got 40 cops at their house.
I'm not calling 911. I'll handle the threat myself. I'll call a cleanup crew.
Hey, yeah, but emergency response services don't just involve police officers, though. I know you're talking about defunding the police, but to Pedro's point, you might need an ambulance. You might need something. I just want to circle back on the whole, can you sue a pharmaceutical company or can you sue the FDA? And that whole angle. Zach's right. You really can't. But I say but. It's not a but. There is a national vaccine injury compensation program, but it limits the it severely limits the liability of a pharmaceutical company. And it's so hard to prove damages in a court of law that the pharmaceutical companies, one, they don't have to pay very much out in any damages typically, and if somebody does win, it's damn near impossible to win a case in court. So there is some compensation that families can receive for adverse reactions, but it's bad. Look into it. The National Vaccine Injury Compensation Program. You could do your own research on it, and also look into the approval process that pharmaceutical companies have to go through with the FDA. Because you would think, right? You would really think, man, the FDA, they're here to look out for our best interests, and they're really researching these things thoroughly before they actually stamp it with their approval. That is not the case. I've dug into the approval process with vaccines, and the FDA does far less than I would have thought they do to actually approve something.
Bro, have you seen their food pyramid? The food, the healthy diet, the healthy food pyramid diet.
What's the base again?
Dude, I think it's
Isn't
all
it grains?
Yeah. It's literally meant, it's the same diet they use to fatten up cows and pigs.
And livestock for feasting.
Bro, that's the healthiest diet. That's the healthy diet that you're supposed to be on. That's what. Come on.
Yeah, you know what's crazy
carbs.
is I feel like a lot of people would listen to this and be like, "Man, you guys are just these conspiracy theorists that just." And I'm like, dude, that's not even the case at all. It's just, have you started to think for yourself yet? Have you started to realize that government agencies aren't necessarily set up for your own good? Have you realized and made the connection that Big Pharma is the biggest lobbyist and they pay the government the most money? So when they run into an issue, what happens? They pay a small fine and then they move on with their business and they continue to get to do what they do. And in most cases, they don't come out on the bottom. They come out on the top because that one-time fine allows them to continue moving on with their shady business and pushing bad drugs or whatever it might be, so that they can make 10, 15, 20,000 X what they paid out in a lawsuit. You rarely have an instance like Purdue Pharmaceutical where a company goes bankrupt. But anyways, so this isn't conspiracy theory. This is us thinking for ourselves. Yeah.
Hey, do you guys get the flu shot?
No.
I remember I just recently. Well, you guys know what I was in. But
yeah. Okay.
I got every shot known to man.
Yeah.
So and I didn't complain about it. I'm not anti-vaxxer. It's just this one was it's just rushed, man.
Oh yeah, this is ridiculous.
You read the article that the fastest vaccine put out was in 4 years. Dude, 8 months is crazy. And I gotta totally agree with what Andrew said. That person who's saying that we're conspiracy theorists, that's probably the first person in line for the vaccine. And I'm telling you, please think for yourself. Activate your mind. The only reason why I said, like, beforehand, we were joking about it just now, but something bad happens, you call the police. Do you know what the average response time for an officer to get to your house is?
20.
10 to 15. Oh, is it 20?
I don't know.
I thought it was 10 to 15 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes. And, the situation I'm more thinking about is someone's in your house. If they've already broken into your house, they're willing to do anything to you. And in my mind, the person who breaks into my house, I give them all the respect of a black belt, jujitsu, knows how to handle every weapon in the world. And I'm going to handle the threat just like that. I'm going to give him the full fury that I know
It's
I
freaking
can deliver.
Jack Bauer that just broke into your house, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly. You need to think that it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, the first Terminator, coming after you. But
Hey, hold on. Jack Bauer or what's Keanu's name?
oh, John Wick.
John Wick. Jack Bauer or John Wick?
Oh, John Wick.
Yeah, John Wick, dude.
I actually I never watched John Wick. I never watched the series.
None of them.
What?
Nah.
What
Is it
about
too-
okay? What about Jason Bourne?
Jason Bourne in a room with John Wick?
Yeah, that's close. Dude.
I don't think it's the reason why John Wick
Jason
I think
Bourne is a
wins
machine,
is
dude.
because well, Jason Bourne is trying to do some like cool, combat stuff, hand-to-hand combat. Every move with John Wick, it leads to the end of a bullet, a trigger being pulled. Like
That's true.
we put you in an arm bar. I'm not gonna break your arm. I'm just getting to your head. I'm gonna.
Dude, when I saw him, because I just got the first one, I never saw any of them. Kind of like Andrew until a couple months ago when the pandemic started. I was like, all right, there's John Wick. I'm gonna get it. Everyone says it's tight because I don't like movies like that. Like I just don't like cheesy action movies, So I got it, and he was fighting these dudes in his house, and I was like, dude, is he setting up for an armbar right now? And sure enough, dude, he gets the armbar, and then he shoots the guy in the head. I was like, dang, this dude is sick.
Did you?
So I liked him after that.
I know that exact scene you're talking about, Zach. And if you rewind the tape, because I rewound it, I was like, whoa, did he just do that? What he does with his foot, you can see him angle his foot out of the way that he knows the bullet's gonna go. He's like, I know it's good.
Hey, I heard Keanu did all his own like stunts in preparation for those movies.
Yeah, he's a jiu-jitsu guy.
Oh yeah. So
and I'm sure other stuff too, but I know for sure that he trained at it.
That's pretty dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've been wanting to watch those movies because I'm
house?
in the same boat as you. Like, I'm not a cheesy action film person. Like, I will on a chill, relaxed day, I'll just put one of those on to pass time if I'm be doing a couple other things. But I'm not like into those kind of movies. I think they're super entertaining, and I'll watch them for fun at times. But those aren't the type of films that I really like to sit down and watch.
Yeah. Sorry, I switched that up real quick. I could just keep going on about movies, but I know you want to talk about some other stuff.
No, that's a good switch.
I'm honestly, dude, I'm chilling, bro. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, go. But I know we had some other stuff that we wanted to for sure talk about before.
Okay.
How much time we got left?
we've got 13 minutes.
All right, what were you gonna say, Pedro?
Keanu Reeves had a break-in at his house, I think, a couple years back, and this is in the midst of him doing the movie. And there was an interview that got done with him, and they asked him, what did he think about that? And he's like, I wish somebody would rob my house while I was there.
Oh, he wasn't there?
Oh, no, he wasn't there.
Oh,
No,
okay.
wait, dude. Everything in that movie, he learned weapon handling skills. He did jujitsu. Bro, he wasn't acting in that movie. They just put blanks in his gun, and they said, go.
Yeah, I did see him on the firing range. That was sick. He's good. He's good with guns too. That's tight.
He's cold.
He's straight up. So that's him. John Wick is Keanu Reeves.
Just give him a suit. Exactly.
All right. Okay. There's a couple
Keanu's
people.
had some epic movies. If we're gonna talk about Keanu,
dude, Point Break is one of my favorite movies.
The Matrix.
Matrix.
I mean, come on. Even Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, going back to like a dumb comedy.
I can't.
Just the first one.
That's too dumb, dude.
It's dumb, but it's
they
like
made
it's
another
a classic.
one, right?
I think they did. Yeah,
one?
I think they did.
I don't know if it came out.
If
what
they
were you
make
going to
a
say, though?
movie
You were going to
called
say something right
70s
before I said that, Zach.
Oh, I was going to say there's a couple people, famous people that I run into that I kind of want to fight, just to not because of like hatred or anything, but just to see like what would happen. Justin Bieber is one of them. I really want to fight Justin Bieber. I would even like if we could promote that to like boxing or whatever. Oh my gosh, dude! Spread the word, Justin Bieber. I want to fight you.
All right, guys, follow the podcast for that alone. If we get big enough, we will line up a fight with Zac and Justin Bieber.
Yes, please. I've said it before. If anyone can get a hold of Justin, I want to fight him. Just to dude, imagine how humiliating that would be for me if he knocked me out. That would suck.
It'd be worse than
that would suck.
Yeah,
we do it in MMA,
so
right?
Bad.
Whatever he wants.
MMA, bro.
All right, whatever he wants. And then Keanu now, because we think he's John Wick, just to see. I would be willing to get knocked out from Keanu. I would be like, yeah, dude, he's bad. But
I'd be willing to get knocked out by anyone for money.
I'm scared. So we're talking with. Okay, so you're talking about in the ring. I thought you meant like a street.
No, Keanu's street fight.
Dude, he'll shoot you.
See, that we'll never know. We'll never know if he's really John Wick, dude.
Dude, you're gonna roll really quick, and it's just gonna go black, and you're gonna be like, "What happened?" And then God's gonna be like, "Whoa."
Hey, we'll put blanks in his gun though, just like the movie. We'll
yeah.
We'll find him beforehand, and we'll have this elaborate scheme where we go into his house and replace all of his mags with blanks. And then we'll set it up so Zach knows where he's gonna be at and meets him on the street, dude.
I'm down. Yeah.
I think Keanu's trained. I think Keanu's trained enough. Well, he'll know the feel of a really loaded gun in his hand, and he'll be like, "Oh, this one's been tampered with," and then take out his real thing.
He's like, "That's why I had these mags sewn into my suit just in case."
Yeah, probably.
Oh man! All right. So one more thing, real quick. We got 10 minutes left.
I would just want to hang out.
Hold up. Dude, okay. I feel like we're gonna retire Keanu.
Keanu's the man.
The presidential election. There's still a lot of talk that Trump has a chance, bro.
It's 1776 to me right
Thoughts?
now. Main thought is, I said it before the podcast, but I'll say it again. I think the problem was, the left was very united for their cause. They didn't care how they got to their conclusions. They knew what they wanted, and they're willing to do anything to get there. So they just drove their point home, no matter how bad it was. And what happened on our side was we had a lot of not big disunity, but still cracks in the foundation where some people are concentrated on personalities. Some didn't even know like what Americanism is. Therefore, it's like they're just voting off of issues, not for the soul of the nation. So,
all right, go for it. You're going in, which is cool, but the question was, what do you? I might not have asked it well enough, but what do you think? Does Trump still have a chance?
It's a shot in the dark. It's a shot in the dark. after the Electoral College and the Texas lawsuit went out, dude, I was very shaken to the core, and I don't know what
All
game.
right, Zach.
I'm like
Do you
grasping on
think Trump
straws.
still has a chance?
I'll tell you this much: I have no idea. I don't think any of us do. But if Trump wins, I'll never vote again in my life.
Dude, honestly, that is okay. I like that statement because I think there's like a extremely slim chance that Trump could still win, and the reason that there is, I don't think it's going to happen. I think Biden's going to hold on because, like we talked about, the Electoral College. But go ahead and do some research on the process that comes next. January 6th, Congress meets to count the electoral votes. There are, the way that meeting is structured, there can be objections brought up, and Congress could vote on certain electoral votes and their validity. So research that for yourself. I did a lot of digging this week. So there are like procedural things that could happen where Trump could still win the presidency, but based on the way that the House and the Senate are currently divided between Democrats and Republicans, I don't think that's a possibility. Unless the key factor would be the lawsuits in those particular states where there are lawsuits would have to be confirmed to be legitimate fraud before Congress meets on January 6th. But anyways, but what you said, Zach, I think is super important because in my mind, like if Trump wins, our system is extremely broken in the sense that either massive voter fraud occurred or, in my mind, the election was stolen away from the legitimate winner. Because if the Electoral College confirms a president, yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Because I said either voter fraud occurred, which is a horrible thing, and if massive voter fraud actually did occur and it is confirmed, the system's already broken. But if massive voter fraud did not occur and Trump still wins the election, that doesn't make any sense.
Joe Biden received more votes than Barack Obama did during his election. Trump received exactly 10 million more votes in order for him to win the last presidency.
I'm not saying voter fraud did not occur. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is if voter fraud did not occur and Biden and Trump wins the election, it's broken.
Hold on, say what you said again, Pedro. What? Because that was last time, right? That was 4 years.
Yes. Biden got more votes than Barack Obama did during his election.
Right.
Trump received 10 million more votes than it took him to win his last election.
Basically, what he's saying is more people voted this year than in history.
This animated corpse received more votes than both of those guys.
I'm not saying that dead people didn't have ballots submitted for them, because I think that did happen in some instances. But what I will also say is there were many people who did not vote last election because they couldn't figure out who the heck to vote for between the candidates. I was one of them. This year I did vote. I think there were a lot of people in my boat. I think people believed this was the most important election ever, which is why there was more voter turnout than ever before.
Yeah, I didn't vote last year or last election.
So I think it makes sense that there were more votes than ever before. But again, I'm also not saying that I don't think there was an inflation of the numbers, because I mean, and here's the problem is I don't think that the investigations are being publicized as well as they should be. So we have to do so much digging to figure out where they're at with these fraud investigations that it's hard to know. Like there's a lot of disinformation out there floating around. And so to weigh through all that stuff is difficult. And like you hear expert witnesses saying that there was something like 17,000 people over the age of 85 in Michigan who submitted a vote, submitted a ballot, but also have a matching obituary. So essentially what that means is 17,000 dead people voted.
It's a lot of
If
people.
that's true, but is it true? I don't know. So the investigations need to be publicized better by the mainstream media so that the truth can truly be known by the people. And I think legit investigations need to happen rather than a whole bunch of dismissals saying, oh no, these are just salty Trump supporters, you know?
Let the salt flow. So my whole thing is, you described to me a process that is legitimate, that's been in place, that goes down the whole time, right? And when the House of Representatives and who else meet? I'm having a
The
brain
Senate.
fart. House of Representative and the Senate meets and they start doing their thing. If the whole process, which you can explain if you want, goes down and then Trump wins, you said that it would be a show that voting doesn't matter?
I think the only way that could happen, because it can happen, and the only way that it can happen, and I think the only way that I would personally say that it happened legitimately, is if voter fraud is confirmed in Pennsylvania, in Michigan, in Wisconsin, in Georgia. Like if that's the time. We're going to stay true to this. We'll wrap up here in just a second. But I was going to say, if voter fraud is confirmed in those 4 states, then I think the process on January 6th, the way it could go down is Trump could win the election. And I think that's a good thing. If voter fraud is legitimately confirmed in those 4 states, then I think Trump should win the election. But what I said earlier was if voter fraud is not confirmed in those 4 states, and by some shot in the dark, Trump still wins that process on January 6th, then I think that's wrong.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Well, that totally makes sense. Let me ease your mind. Well, no. We got to straight 2 at a time. I'll just close with this. There was voter fraud. That did happen. Boom.
It did happen, you said?
I'll leave it there. But yes.
Yeah,
voter fraud did occur.
I'll agree with that.
I mean, I am gonna agree with the caveat that I think
I got videos of people bringing sandwich bags and suitcases and
I think there needs to be a better distribution of the information to the public. That's all I'll say. Because I have watched the hearings and the committee meetings and all that stuff, and it seems like on the surface with the testimonies that voter fraud did occur. At least in Michigan,
know, guys,
and I would say in Georgia.
What side you're on. If you guys think that there was fraud, there was a fraud. If you guys think that just Biden should just take it and that should be it, let us know. Or if you think that Trump should take it, or if he's gonna, let us know. There's so many different options and so many different stances in this.
Or if you think civil war, because some people are talking about that, and I'm like, dude, I don't know why people want another civil war, but I understand wanting to get your point across. But a civil war, anyways. Pedro wants a civil war.
No, I don't. I don't want the boog.
I'm just reading your face. You haven't told me that.
Well, yeah, I don't want a civil war. I want law and order, right? I don't want the boog to pop off. But there's a reason why gun sales are up 500% this year. Yeah, I would just say everybody needs to keep a calm level.
So we're toilet paper sales, though.
This is true, and that was very strange. I agree. So I would
People
just say, Unfortunately.
Yeah, there did not need to
Agreed.
be a toilet paper shortage. That was unnecessary.
Wow.
There didn't need
Why
to be a
toilet
grocery
paper?
shortage.
But yeah,
Oh,
staying true to the time. Thank you everyone for listening. Please like, share, subscribe if you like this video, and also like, share, subscribe if you didn't like this video. I will try and enter the comments. I've had my staff has told me that it's a good thing to actually interact. Yeah, I have staff. They've told me it's good to interact with your public and that it can only have a positive effect. Hopefully that's true, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, thanks everybody for listening.
Thanks,
You got
guys.
anything
Merry
to say,
Christmas.
Andrew?
We're trying to get this one and another one out before the end of the year, but Merry Christmas if we don't.